Welcome everybody. Jeremy, awesome. No worries, man. This stuff happens. I'll tell you what, I couldn't do what you guys are doing. I had to call Michael and figure out how to use Zoom when I first started. So I totally, completely understand when these things happen. Right on. So welcome everybody. Let's see. So thank you, Melissa, for reminding me to record. That is awesome. If you can, folks, go ahead and mute yourselves. I don't think, let's see. Yeah, I don't think I have everybody on mute. So just remember, if you want to come off of mute, it's totally fine. I think you have to hit *6 if you are automatically muted. And then, of course, you have to unmute yourself as well. So, Jeremy, good job of stepping in. Keely, Austin, you are awesome. Thanks for stepping in yesterday and running a great call. Jeremy, thanks for your leadership and your friendship as well, my brother. I appreciate it. I love having the opportunity to talk to you, and thanks for reaching out to me and getting prepared for this call. So that's an important quality as well. So I just appreciate everything you've done to get this thing going. So welcome everybody. I've got a little bit of a cold, believe it or not. I don't know how that happens in Arizona. My wife and I were flying back from Panama last week on Wednesday, and I was up in first class, and the guy behind me coughed and sneezed the entire time for a 4-hour flight from Miami to Phoenix. And I think I might have got it. Like, he was directly behind me. And it's a pretty small, confined area up there. And yeah, I think I got his cold. So my voice is a little messed up. All right. So I got some cool things to talk about today. You guys remember, I'm going to go ahead for you that are new, or even if you haven't gotten it before, 760-533-3141. That is my cell phone number, 760-533-3141. When I put it in the chat, you guys, I've got the chat box up. If anybody wants to chat a question or thought or comment you want to discuss in there, you also have the ability to come off mute and just ask me anytime, anything that you want to know, that you want me to talk about that is pertaining to what you're going through right now. That's always an open forum. So feel free. In the meantime, I'm going to chat a little bit today about a little bit, I'll do a little Panama stuff. Obviously, I don't want to bore you with Panama. You've heard about it on the Founders webinar last night, which I think was amazing. Like, if you're missing those Founders webinars, please get back and my advice would be to get a couple recordings of them. But, for me, from the very beginning, and many of you not heard this, but, in 2008, I'll tell you, 2008 was my first year, really, when I got enrolled at the end of 2007. And Monday nights, I would do a team call, and then I would listen to the webinar, and I'd walk my dogs. And so the webinar for me was something that gave me vision, and it gave me encouragement, and it gave me, it actually inspired me. But it also motivated me and pissed me off, because a lot of times there was testimony, such as last night, right? So, like, if you weren't able to go to the Panama for whatever reason, and you listen to that call, you're kind of, the options you have are to be kind of like, I'm not going to listen to it because, I wasn't there, and, it was too expensive, or, my life isn't right where it needs to be. And I get it, right? It's all legitimate stuff where you're going through. It's just fine. But the way you approach it, the way you think about it, and the way you adopt it can be completely different, right? So it can be like, you know what? I'm not listening to that. I wasn't able to go. It's just not all, sunshine and roses and rainbows and all that stuff. Or you could be like, you know what? I'm going to listen to see what these people have to say and listen to their experience. And then so next year I'm going to be way more motivated to go, or I'm going to be more prepared to go, or whatever it is, right? So you can take it however you want. And so for me, listening to this call in 2008 and 2009, I was not doing all the fun things at all. Even though I made, my wife and I made over $200,000 in 2008, right? My first year, I made almost $190,000 between the marketing and the real estate. And I was still broke. Like, I was broke. We were still in a lot of trouble, and it took several years to dig out of that. And so I was not going to these fun events. I wasn't the number one income earner in the company. I remember when, you know, they went on this boat trip to Bora Bora. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with details, but you get the point. It motivated me. Monday night was like a way for me to be motivated. It was a way for me to be pissed off, so I would go do more. It reminded me that people were doing it, that it is real, and that it could work, and that it can work for me if I did it. So that, you know, for you, if you get an opportunity to create a routine for yourself, you know, please do. Please create a routine around your Renatus events. And then commit to them, like Jeremy said, commit to them and go to them and make it a non-negotiable time. You know, Thursday night, even though I wasn't even marketing, Thursday night was a non-negotiable time for me because it was a way for me to network and get around positive, successful people. Because the rest of the time I worked from home, right? And I was out running around with a bunch of people losing their houses, and I was by myself. And so you can't build a business in my, well, I don't want to say you can't. I think it's a lot easier, and you might have a lot more success if you can build a business with other people than by yourself. All right, I will tell you there's someone off mute, and I don't know who it is. So just, you know, you might be walking, I think, right now, because it sounds like you're breathing a little heavy. But anyway, if you can remind yourself to mute yourself, but you can come off mute when you're ready to talk, if you're listening to me at all. Okay, welcome everybody. You got a good solid 60 people on the call. If you want to reach out to your team, let them know we're getting this thing started. So bear with my my voice, you guys. You know, I put this I don't know if you can see me. So I've got I have the Las Vegas thing. Let's see. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm on video. So I have video if you guys are watching. Most of you probably aren't. And my shirt says the future is vegan. I don't know if you can see that. So there it is. The future is vegan. And it's so funny how people get on calls and don't pay attention. Let me see if I can real quick.
Claro.
Move this over.
Es un gran cambio, pero se puede hacer.
Give me a minute. I'm just trying to see if I can mute this person. And normally it tells me who's talking, but oh, there we go. Got it. I think. No, I still have somebody on mute. Anyway. No worries. So it doesn't matter about being vegan. That's not my point. My point is you see the alien and it's hard to believe that there's aliens. And I think it's a pretty cool shirt. And the reason I have it on is because in my opinion, it's very similar to Renatus, and not Renatus as a company, but Renatus as a concept, right? And the concept is financial literacy. The concept is financial freedom. And the concept is that's so funny, Ashley. Thank you. I don't think they're on that. They're probably just on their phones. And it's crazy that. Why I don't have. Okay, so I have just muted everybody. So please forgive me. I will unmute it in a minute. But we just had a lot of background noise. So if you don't mind, I muted everybody. So I think if you have to come off mute, which you feel free to do, you can just hit *6 and then you can come off mute. And feel free to do that and ask any questions or talk or whatever you want to do. It's an open forum anytime. So I did just mute everybody. All right. So I don't remember where we were. Let's kick it off here. So you guys, so if you can think about it, Renatus is a foreign concept. Like I would bet that, I don't know, we've got 60 plus now people on the call. And maybe 5 of you are vegan, maybe 3 of you, maybe 2 of us. I know 2 of us are. So that's a minority, right? And you got to remember that it's the same thing with Renatus, right? Is that it's a foreign concept. So when you are talking to somebody about Renatus, and when I say Renatus, again, I mean the opportunity, right? The opportunity to become financially free, the opportunity to start a business, the opportunity to invest in real estate, the opportunity to learn to control your own destiny financially, to learn to have a life by design, to learn to not, be a W-2, to buck the system, whatever it is, right? These are concepts that people want and desire. Like everybody desires to be healthy, right? Everybody desires to have an environment where it is. I picture this, you guys, like, right? I mean, there's no one. If you asked anybody, you said, "Hey, would you rather have the ozone collapse or would you rather have a good ozone?" Right? Would you rather have the animals not be extinct or would you rather have them be extinct? Would you rather have cancer or no cancer? Right? And everybody's going to say yes to all those, right? They want the good stuff. They want it for their children and their grandchildren. They don't want to die early. We don't want to get cancer. We don't want to get sick. We don't want to pollute the oceans. We don't want turtles swallowing straws, like all this stuff, right? But what we want and what we choose to go after are 2 different things. And so veganism is a lifestyle, right? And I'm not preaching veganism, you guys. I know you know me, and I know you know that this is not the case. I'm just drawing an analogy, and it is a very, very close analogy because we're talking about a minority of great magnitude where entrepreneurs are 1%, right? Where wealthy are 1%, and 1% of 7 billion people. And so we're trying to change people's lives by introducing them to something we believe in. And if I were to tell you, you just need to quit eating meat and you need to not eat dairy and get rid of milk and start drinking almond milk, you'd be like, okay, that's stupid, right? And you would be defensive. You would have your own reasons why not. You would say, my granddad smoked his whole life, or my granddad ate bacon, and he lived till he was 95. And you know what? There's no way I could get rid of that. I love the taste of bacon. Like all of those are legitimate reasons. They're all reasons, but honestly, they're just excuses, right? And that's fine. But if somebody is not willing or able, or not willing or even ready to become vegan, they are not going to stop eating meat. They're not even going to consider it. They're not even going to listen to it, especially if it's your idea. So in my opinion, one of the things that we can do is as an entrepreneur and as a Renatus advocate and as an ICN, right? We can remember, what would it be like if someone was talking to you and they were telling you, if it was me or Keely and we were selling you on being vegan, right? And go ahead and think about where you're at in your life with your diet and your belief system, right? Whether it's keto diet, whether you just eat whatever you want, whether you're young and your food doesn't matter right now, your metabolism is high. You can't imagine getting sick. You can't imagine dying. Those aren't things that you're thinking about. You're not in your 50s or 60s or 70s. You're not there. So you don't think about those things. You don't even think about retirement yet, unless you're part of Renatus, obviously. But as a young kid, so whatever your belief system are, so whatever your your lifestyle is when it comes to eating and it comes to, right? Because eating, like if you think about it, eating, like this is why I'm saying this. Listen, so eating is a thing that happens every day, and everybody has to do it. And everybody has to be conscious of what they're eating. They physically have to go spend money on it. They physically have to do it. They physically have to make conscious decisions. Same with finances, right? Like if you think about it, they're identical. Every day you have to make financial decisions. You have to make financial choices. You have to spend money, save money. You have to make money. You have to go to a job, and it all relates around money, just like it all relates around food. That's why it's such a great correlation. If you think about it, right, you've got these two foreign concepts. And here we are as entrepreneurs, advocates of Renatus, ICMs, we are out there and we know the Bible. We are like, this is it. Renatus is it. You got to see this education. You got to see this money you can make, right? And we're pitching this, right? And we're thinking about, why doesn't anybody see what I see? But imagine if someone was thinking it and they have an idea for you that is foreign, that is not adopted by everybody across the country, that in fact is not adopted by anybody across the country, right? The very, very few minority, the very, very small percent. And when we go to talk to people about it, let's imagine what it would be like when we have to make different decisions, difficult, different decisions. Okay, so for you, we're talking to people that have to spend $20,000, right? They have to invest in themselves. They have to imagine themselves that they're going to do this, that they're actually going to change, that they're actually going to go ahead and take advantage of this, right? And then they have to imagine the longevity of it, right? When you quit drinking, that's why the 12-step program is 1 day at a time, because the thought process of never having a drink again is impossible, right? The human brain and the humanality and our growth and our history and our predisposed thought processes don't allow it. We can't think that far ahead. It's too hard to think of. So, you know, when we're talking about it, and someone was to say to us, you know, hey, you've got to give up meat for the rest of your life, like it's a really hard decision. And immediately the first thing on our mind is like, I don't want to do that. I love the way it tastes, right? And so when you say, hey, you've got to consider giving up your W-2 job, and you've got to support your family and you got to create your own retirement, and you can't rely on the government or your 401k. And people are like, I don't want to do that. Like they do. They understand the benefits of it, but they're ingrained W-2. They're ingrained. They want help. It's a scary thing to think that they have to do this on their own and provide their own financial future and retirement, right? It's not an easy concept. So think about the idea when you are going to present, right, this information, and when you're out prospecting, when you're talking to folks, that you are being pitched something you don't want and that you don't like and that you don't need, or that you may need it, but that you don't, you're just not adopting yet, right? Now, remember, it's not something you're opposed to. Remember, I just said all that stuff about the environment, your health, right? There's all these huge benefits of being vegan, right? If all of us could say, you know what, I agree the plastic straws do kill animals in the sea. I agree that our seas are, you know, our fish are being depleted, you know, all the little statistics, you know them, right? I understand global warming. I understand all these things. I understand, you know, that the cost of the torture of the animal, you know, all these things, right? So we know that in a still shot of life, we wouldn't want those things to be. But we also understand that, you know, we're human. We're at the top of the food chain, that, you know, we're accustomed to eating meat. We're accustomed to living this lifestyle. We have to feed hungry people. We have to mass produce animals in order to supply the food. And so we get it. So we make these sacrifices and choices. So, so remember that when we're talking to folks, they want what we have. They need what we have. They believe in what we have. Like they believe that their financial future's in ruins. They believe that they are going to be shorted at the end of the day, come retirement. They believe that their job is not going to get them where they want to go. They believe that they are building someone else's dream. They believe that they want more money. They want more freedom. They want more good things. They want a nicer house. They want all of these things. Just like we don't want to be sick. We don't want cancer. We don't want to ruin the environment. Now, all of us in Renatus, okay, I'm going to try to unmute all. Let's see. Oh. Stop having to mute everybody. I just thought maybe I'd give it a shot, but just fill up. Sorry.
I guess.
That's funny to me. I'll go off on a little tangent. You know what? It is what it is. I'm so glad you guys are here. I just totally appreciate you guys. You know, for those of you I met in Panama, it's awesome. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, but you know, you guys, I'll tell you this, you guys being on this phone call, you know, today for me and then for everybody else that trains on this call, I just think you guys are doing yourselves an amazing service. And I think it'll pay off. You guys, if you don't know this, I've been listening to this call now. I'd have to look back, but it's been at least 2 years. And it was 2 years before I even started doing the call. I used to listen to Michael Christian and John O'Neill. Every once in a while I was a guest trainer on it. And it literally changed my business. But so, you know, I'm just grateful you guys are here. I'm grateful there's almost 70 of you on the line and listening to me. So I hope it's making sense and bringing value. So I'm not going to beat this up too much. So try to remember, if you can, that you are teaching something to somebody that is they want to hear it, but imagine if Keely or I were sitting here telling you that you needed to go vegan, and your objections to that. They are legitimate objections. They are real, honest to God life activities that are going through your mind. And now, if we are telling you something and we're pushing this on you, right? And we're out there with a vegan shirt on and it's in your face, it's kind of offensive. It doesn't come across very well. It's my idea, not your idea. And so immediately the defense mechanisms are going to go up, and all of the reasons why not are going to go up. And so you're not as open to it. But so when you're talking to people about Renatus and financial literacy and changing their financial lives, right? Think about it as if someone was talking to you about something you're not opposed to, but you are a little skeptical about, okay? And then you can walk a delicate line with them, and you can ask questions, and you can remind them what it is they're trying to accomplish. So if you begin to open their mind through questions, right? And you begin to, you know, I'm like, you know, for example, if I was talking to you about being vegan, I might say, hey, do you ever eat a meal in the afternoon? And it's a good meal. Like you eat some grilled chicken, some vegetables, you throw in some simple carbs, and all of a sudden you feel a little sluggish, right? And they're like, yeah, that's me, you know? And you're like, would you rather not do that? Would you rather eat a meal and perhaps have even more energy to get you through the rest of the day and not have to have a cup of coffee or an energy shot or something like that, or fall asleep at your desk? And they would be like, yeah, that would make sense, right? So they're going to remind them that when you begin to ask questions and start to have free conversations about some of the benefits, then it's easier to open the concept up. And then they can start to, I mean, when you're asking these questions, they're going to start to, as you guys know, and I know you know this because you're doing this, you begin to experience where they're going to open up to you and tell you things. And all of a sudden they're going to say, yeah, you know, this one time, you know, I was late and I had a smoothie over at this place, you know, and I don't care what kind of protein powder was in it, but they had a smoothie and all of a sudden they had more energy, right? And because they know that their body is digesting it and is using the nutrients instead of, you know, a big steak where, you know, your digestive system slows down and all your energy has to go digesting that steak. So you naturally lose blood flow and all that stuff. I mean, these are just natural human biological things that happen depending on the foods that you eat. Your body just does not respond well to some foods, and that's why you slow down, right? So they can relate to that, and then it's their idea. They're like, oh yeah, I had a smoothie. I'm like, yeah, it was probably a green smoothie. And you're like, you know, and all of a sudden they're like, yeah, I'd be open to that. You know, would you be open to having an opportunity to have a smoothie every day? You know, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's their idea, and you didn't sell them on something that they were opposed to immediately. So I hope you guys get what I'm getting at is, and this wasn't even supposed to be my training. So I'm going to go back into my other thing in a minute. But my point is that, and you guys, you know, I was talking to my team on Sunday, and you know, Bob Snyder and his team, I can't speak for him or anything like that. I know him pretty well, but I don't know him that well as far as what he's doing with his business. But, you know, from what I understand, going to these leaders retreats the last 4 years in a row and spending time with Bob and you know, he's pretty young, right? He's 56. You know, I know his old company. His old company, we were doing in the top 2 years at the end of the thing, they were doing over $100 million in sales. You know, that's 5 times or plus more than we're doing now, right? And I know that he wants to exceed that. I know that if he wants to hit his goal of you know, 1 million entrepreneurs and he wants to you know, leave this legacy for his children that are working with the company and everything like that. I mean, his vision is so far out. I can only imagine, right? This is me imagining this. So we're in such a great place. It's a very, very, very new company, right? It's a very, very new opportunity. There's a lot coming down the pipeline. I mean, Helios is only the beginning. I mean, can you imagine if you own something and you personally put $1 million into it? Are you going to let it go if it fails, right? You're not going to let it fail. You're going to work it till it's up and running. You know, this is going to be the over any of the other major, you know, sales companies out there of any product they're selling. This platform will be far and above anybody else's platform out there for a CRM, for a customer platform, for a back office platform. It's going to be unbelievable, right? And so, you know, that's in order. That's the foundation to expand all of the classes, all of the education, all of the marketing, all of the things that he needs to be able to have at our fingertips so that we can go out and put out in the world, right? So he's got to set that stage with that software. So you know, we're in an amazing position. And so the reason I brought that up, if you think about it, like I'm sure you all watch TV. I watch TV. I'm not immune to it. I did not shoot up my TV like Michael Huggins, although I probably should. But I'm a sports fanatic, and I love sports. And then I relax. I like I told you, I don't know how to read, so I don't read much at night. I watch TV at night when I'm done working. And so there's a lot of commercials. And recently, Whopper, Burger King, right? They're coming out with the Impossible Burger. And if you don't know, the Impossible Burger is a vegan, whole plant-based food hamburger. And if you haven't had it, it's pretty damn good. Now, the Whopper itself isn't vegan. It still has the sauce and stuff on there. You can make it vegan. But my point is that, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, I met people that have been vegan for 30 years, right? People have been doing this for a long time. People have been curing cancer on a whole plant-based food diet or a juice diet for years, you know, for centuries, really, when you go way back. But my point is that, you know, nowadays up in Seattle, Northern California, some certain parts of the country, there are full grocery stores that are 100% vegan. You know, Del Taco has vegan tacos, Impossible Tacos. The major food chains, the major fast food chains are understanding the power of the plant-based food. They're not changing their menu to all plant-based, right? Not at all. But they are adopting a few options. They are adopting with the demand, and the demand is there. And it's the same thing with Renatus, right? We're in a position where if you get to work now, and Jeremy mentioned this earlier, if you do not learn to quit this job, to quit this business, to quit your ICM, right? If come January 1st or December 1st, and the opportunity comes for your ICM renewal and you're not 5-star qualified, and you're like, you know what, I don't have the money, I'm going to postpone it. I'm just going to give it up. Or you're halfway to 5-star, or you're 1-star qualified, and you decide not to make that decision to renew your ICM. You're crazy, right? Like, because if you never learn to quit this and you engage in this business, and I'm going to get to some of those things. Okay, I'm getting running out of time. So when you do that, the opportunity for you in the future is just, in my opinion, it's ridiculous, because you will set the groundwork where this will hit where the people will start to pay attention, and the demand will be higher, and the ability to enroll students will be a much easier. I don't know if easier is the right word. You guys get my drift. It will absolutely take off. It will no longer be a trend. It will no longer be we will hit the marketplace, if you get what I mean. We're early stages. We're in a good position. Take it off? Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I'm just going to say goodbye. Love you. Bye. He's right there. She's got some conferences this week, so she's off. Anyway, so you get my point. So that takes me to this, is that if we never learn to quit, it's maybe something you can hold on to and you can believe in first. But more importantly, it becomes harder to never learn to quit if you don't ever bring any guests. And you know what I mean? Like 1 guest, 2 guests, I get it. You're working with 1 or 2 people during the week. It becomes hard because they say no a lot. And then it takes a lot of time for them to fund or to even get to the next event. And your skill set is a little bit slower. So it's easier to get discouraged. And this is one of the things I want to touch on, because I've had this happen with team members, right? I'm not immune to people not sticking around. And, you know, it just starts with, in my opinion, it starts with going to the meetings and setting a stage. I don't care if you've been here a week or if you've been here a year. And you know what I mean? You go to the meetings and you go to the Super Saturdays and you go to the intensives and you attend these events, but you do it by yourself. And you mean well and you get inspired, and then you call up a few people and they don't show up, or they do show up but they don't join, and it's discouraging. So you're not quitting, but that participation can diminish. And what happens is you know, or you may learn, and this is going for when you become 5-star, if you're not already, or as you're building your team, you'll see this in your own team. And the last thing you want to do, I'm telling you, if you truly believe in this, is to watch your team members disappear. You can't help them. You can't do it for them. You can't force them, but you still love them, and you still, you enroll them and you want them to be successful. And they're an additional $20,000 to you, you know what I mean? And another 2 people to you. So they have value. And so you don't want this to happen. So whatever it is, at some point, if we're not finding leads during the week and we're not talking to people, there has to be a very, very strong motivator to keep you going. We all know that we have this foundation of never learning to quit this business, to quit Renatus, but it becomes much easier to do so when we are not enrolling students, and when we are not making money, and when we are not having success, and when we are going to events alone. You know, when I have an intensive and I have 15 or 20 of my students there, or my team members there rather, and then they have guests, and then I have my own direct guests, and I have 2 or 4 or 8 guests at an intensive, I know that I'm looking at the next week or 2, I'm gonna receive a $10,000 or $20,000 paycheck, and I know this every single month because we do them every single month, and my numbers reflect that. And so, but when you don't have that, you can't just build for the event the week of the intensive. It's very difficult. We all know that. That's not what this training is. But for me, for you guys, for not learning to quit, it starts like today, right? Today's only Tuesday. If you can, at the very least, just look in your phone and pull out 5 numbers and write them down. And if you don't want to call them, if you are afraid to reach out to them, which is understandable, then ask somebody or role play with somebody before you do, and just talk to your 5-star, or talk to someone you trust in the community, and do it as a third party, and just try it. Just fail at it. But I'm telling you, if you fail 4 or 5 times a week talking to people, that is far greater than if you don't talk to anybody all week, because your system will change. Your ability to close people will change. It will get better. Your ability to talk to people will get better. Your ability to ask questions and promote your vision will get better, and people will join you. And when people join you, your forces become more. right? I was watching a show the other day, and it was one of the murder ones, right? I watched those quite a bit. I don't know why that is. It's so intriguing, I guess. But I'm watching this program, and this guy was really diving into his religion, and so he decided that he wasn't fond of the government anymore, and he was going to tear up his Social Security card, and he was going to revoke his driver's license and just not conform at all. So then he started to preach, right? And he started to preach this belief of what the Bible was telling him, what this particular brand of the Bible or whatever it is, this particular religion was teaching him. And he decided to expand on it. And he started with one person, one family member, right? And then he didn't quit on it. He just started talking to more and more people about his beliefs and asking them how they felt about this government hold on them and their W-2 paycheck and all this conformity and all this stuff. And pretty soon he's created this huge following to where he actually got removed from his religious church, as a person. They literally like threw him out of the church. Like even though he wasn't even going anymore, he was kicked out of this entire religious. And then he took it to such extreme, he started to believe that God was telling him to remove a few people physically from this earth because they were impeding what he was trying to preach. But my point is so as a murder one, he actually killed these people, but then he got put on trial and he's in jail, and one of them and his cohort is being executed. But my point is that it started with one. It started with his own belief, and it started with one person. But pretty soon, as people start to hear your message, and the more people you talk to, and the more times you fail at it, you will get better at it. Your belief will become stronger, and you will then have more people joining you. And the minute you have one or two or three people join you, you now have a stronger force. And even if you're getting 5-star and those people roll up to your 5-star, there's still someone you invited. They're still a part of you. My people that have all rolled up to me, they're on my team, but all my team people, they all know each other from the people that enroll them, and we're all one big team. It's amazing. And so it's just a real cool experience. And what I'm getting at is that it's got to start like today. And when Craigslist went away and some of the street signs, right? I came off of Real Estate Investor Seeks Apprentice. I'm going to try this one more time. Sorry. If you want to come off mute, you guys just hit *6, I think, and then you can probably come off mute, I think, and then unmute yourself. Or type it in the chat if you want. If you want to talk, feel free. We've got another 10 minutes, so if you have any questions or thoughts that you want me to talk about. But damn it if I don't remember what I was talking about. I think I had a good point. Oh, Craigslist. Yeah, I remember, Steve. Thank you so much. I came off of Real Estate Investor Seeks Apprentice, and that sign works, you guys. It's no longer compliant, as you know, because obviously the person putting out the sign is not going to be the person taking that person. Like if you were a blacksmith and you were literally going to teach someone to become a blacksmith, you could put out that sign. But we are not the teacher. It is not transparent. It is not honest, and it is a deceptive practice. It makes sense that it's not compliant. My ad used to say make $500 to $10,000 per month part-time, right? That is possible, but it's not compliant. And so my ad, half of my team over the last 3 years was found on Craigslist. Some of my best, I did, William. I came in off a sign. Yep. And my best, not my best, but as good a quality folks as I had from More Market, I also have from Craigslist. So those things are gone. And so it's easy, right? It's when things get, taken away from us or, changed and stuff, right? Who Moved My Cheese? Read that book. It's easy to give in, give up, quit, get frustrated, and it sets us back. And really we literally can just change it. We can just reframe it in our head and be like, cool, let's adapt. Let's come up with something more creative that is compliant. And people want to be inspired. They want honesty. They want transparency. They want to be moved. They don't want to be deceived. They don't want to They don't want to be taken advantage of. They're sick of that. They're sick of feel it yourselves. We're tired of the crap that even in our food and in our cars, and all this product that we buy, we don't want to be deceived anymore. And so the more honest and transparent you can be, the more people are going to follow you and believe in you and believe in what you're doing. All right, I got a question. It says, we can use Craigslist still? Yes. Yes, you just have to put it not in the job section. You're absolutely right, Jenna. That's perfect. David says, continually impressed and amazed with the giving spirit of Renatus, right? 100%. Chuck says, Rejection Proof is a great book. That is a good book, yeah. Dr. Gary wrote a book called Rejection Junkies, actually, from our pack. Pretty cool book. But so when you're creating your ad, so my point to this is this. Although you can't put an ad on Craigslist, you can come up. I mean, if you just want to put in, real estate investor or investment group seeks students, whatever it is that you could even call customer service and ask them if it's compliant, but make it up. Get your lead generation going. It starts with your leads. Please, you guys, if you do anything this week, in my opinion, it's go out and talk to some people today or tomorrow before Thursday's meeting and invite them to the meeting. And I don't care how you do it. One thing I can tell you this is just do it, right? Just the more leads you can talk to, the faster your business will grow, and the faster you will grow to where you will become someone who is confident and someone who is capable of being able to share the information without telling the information to people. You will be able to spread the word about financial literacy without trying to push veganism down their throat, right? And they will be open and receptive to what you're offering and what you have to offer after you have asked them the questions and it becomes their idea. But we can't do any of those things. We can't even begin to talk about people's diets if we have no one to talk to. We have to get the lead. And that's why the first money-making activity, right, is see the people. See the people has to happen every single day. There's no other training than the 4 money-making activities, right? The continual follow-up, building for event and telling the story. Seeing the people is the first step. And the first step doesn't happen and then you stop and then you do the other steps. The first step has to happen every single day. It's a one day at a time kind of thing where every single day you have to get up and determine and decide that you want to tell people about this, and somehow you've got to get into a conversation with somebody about it. So you have to generate a lead and have someone call you. If someone's calling you from some sort of sign or post or drop card, then at least you have an icebreaker already in front of you. If you're in 3-foot rule, right, then remember that it's not about asking them then. It's only about getting contact information. The 3-foot rule is simply going to be the way that you get the lead. And so the 3-foot rule is not about being an entrepreneur, is not about being self-motivated or being at home, making money from home or making more money or doing real estate or any of those things. The 3-foot rule is simply just getting to know that person and having some sort of common ground and then asking them a question that you can follow up with them on, right? Whatever it is. Just checking the chats real quick. Got a couple more minutes. Anyway, I'll finish with this. So Panama was pretty amazing, right? And the reason, and if you watched last night, so you can watch last night's recording. Most of you are probably on the webinar. You're probably going to have Panama stuff in your local community back when you go to the meeting this weekend or this week. You're going to be talking to people, so you're going to get a lot of it. So I didn't want to spend much time on it. I can say this. the experience is amazing. There's so much opportunity, as you heard last night, for people to network, to talk to Bob, to talk to PAC members, to get the training that Bob did was phenomenal, right? And then you get to meet some of the people across the country that you haven't met before, that you create these relationships. But, you know, the number one thing, in my opinion, is that, maybe not the number one, but when I look back at it, it's the fact, it's one more building block. It's one more thing that you're doing in your business. So like, if you owned a company and the company is your company, and you have to continually grow the company, and there are things that you put in place. There's a break room, a lunch room. You know, there are corporate offices, there are meeting rooms, right? There are individual offices. There's a ground level floor, you know, where there's a reception area, right? There's all these things, and then you have these. You begin to build relationships with whatever it is you're selling, whatever business you're doing. If it's a law firm or stuff, if it's a law firm, you're going to different law meetings, right? You're continually doing your education. It's one of the things that you just do. Renatus has a certain thing to it. Renatus as a company is something that you believe in, and it's something that you do. And so Thursday night is something you do. If you don't do Thursday night, it's like you missed work. And in the beginning, Renatus is work. Renatus is a second job. And even when I say beginning, I mean before you build a team. I don't care if you're 5-star. I don't care if you've got 5 direct sales. Until you have a team that's being leveraged and you're up on the PAC, or you don't want to be on the PAC, but you have a leveraged team where you're making $5,000, $10,000 a month on residual pass up 5%, right? The 3-5% deep, and you're really deep into the earnings plan. If you're working on a direct sales, it's a beginning company for you. I don't care if you're making all the sales yourself and you're going to make 10 sales in a year by yourself. That requires your effort. You're still out working. So Renatus is a job. It is a thing that you're doing. It takes your effort. It doesn't take as much effort as a 40-hour-a-week job, and it pays like a CEO job, right? But it's still a job, and you're working at it. And here's the thing. If that's the case, then Thursday night is a thing. Saturdays are a thing. Property tours are a thing. Whether you have guests or not, you have to become a part of the community. You become a part of this reality. You become a part of this group. You become a fixture. You become someone when you walk into the building, that is your Renatus. When you walk into your corporate office that you own, and they go, "Hey, Bill, how are you?" Right? And your employees know you. And you follow my analogy here. You know, your receptionist, all the way up to the people that clean the place, to the first level employees, to your boardroom members, right? You've got all these people that know who you are because you're the CEO of your company. But if you're not there, if you don't go, they don't know you. And in fact, they don't believe that you're a part of it. They think you're off playing golf or, you know, taking care of your family, and it's not important to you. The Leaders Retreat, the Nationals, the Regionals, they cost money. They cost you time. They are incredible sacrifices that you will make in order to do this, right? Even when you are making the money you want to make and the flight isn't that big a deal to you anymore, in the near future when you're doing this Renatus business and you have your real estate, whatever it is, even then it's still a sacrifice. You still have to get dog sitters. You still have to plan it. You still have to pay for it. You have to spend the time. You're away from your business, all these things. You're away from family, whatever it is. You're making sacrifices no matter what level it is. But you're there because it's who you are and what you're a part of. And it's one of the things that you just do. Just like when you talk to people, that's part of what you do for a living as Renatus. It's the same thing. It's an event you just don't miss. Could you imagine if there was a leaders retreat and Bob Snyder didn't go? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But you're the CEO of your company. Why would you not go? I'm not mad at you for not going. Don't get me wrong. And everything that you guys, I'm over now, but I'm going to quit. Thank you, Bill. The relationship to diet and financial appetites is a great way to cure it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Lily says, thanks, Bill. It's great to know you more at the Leaders Retreat. Awesome, Lily. I'll let you guys go. I'll leave you with this. Like, I forget what I was just going to say. I don't care that you go or don't go. Everything that you guys do from here on out, and what you have done in the past, let it go. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Don't beat yourself up on not being there. It is what it is. But if you plan ahead and you just commit to yourself, I'm going no matter what, you'll make it happen. Whatever it is that we want to do in life, we always choose and we do it, whether we have the money or not. Disneyland, food, going out to eat on a Friday night, putting gas in the car when we don't have the money. We sacrifice something for something else, no matter what level of finance we're in. We figure it out. We do it. We prioritize and we make it happen, right? Especially like when there's kids are hurt or the kids are sick or whatever, we don't have the money, but we allocate it to that. We don't go on vacation because we had this come up. We make those things happen. It's the same thing here. You make it happen if you want it. So if you determine it, predetermine it ahead of time, you'll do it. You'll go to regionals. You'll go to nationals. You'll go to the leaders retreat. You'll go to Thursday night. You'll do these things. Make it who you are. Make it what you do. It's what you do. That's what you do. So you do it. And then there's no excuse. So thanks you guys for being here today. Sandra says, thank you. You just hit what I was missing. P.S. I take oregano tea for colds. It may help you. Absolutely. I've been drinking, oh my God, I can't even think of it every day. I got to go make it now. It's terrible, but it's, I can't even think. It's a vinegar and cayenne pepper. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I'll try oregano tea. Coffee's probably not the best thing for it. And I'm going to go to spin class anyway, and I'm going to try to spin it out, and it's probably going to make me worse, but I don't care. I don't let colds. I try not to let colds stop me. I don't know. I shouldn't get other people sick though, but I won't cough on anybody. You guys, I love you. Bill, you're welcome. I'm going to put my cell phone number in there, 760-533-3141. And when I say I love you, I really do mean it. 760-533-3141 if you're not on the chat. Joanne and David, you guys can attest to this. I really do love you. You guys are awesome. I don't know many of you, a lot of you. I know most of you. I know I see your names and stuff on this thing. If you reach out to me, I will put you in my phone. If you need me, I'm here. I will get back to you eventually. If it's important, get back to me more than once so I can realize that it's important. But either way, get to your 5-star. You guys take advantage of your 5-star, please. This is a people business. Let them help you get to 5-star. Let them get your people to the events. They get compensated for it, and you learn quicker. Do whatever it takes. You guys are awesome. David, you're awesome. Thank you very much, you guys. Ashley, thank you. Joshua, thank you. Thank you, Esterine. You guys are awesome. I love this Tuesday call. I won't give it up till they tell me to get off of it. All right, I'm going to end the meeting for everybody. Have a great day. Make it great. It's Tuesday. We got plenty of time to get some people and make some money and change some lives. So love you guys. Talk to you soon.